Hi, beautiful souls. This is Lenny from Lenny's Brilliant Sparkling Light. And it's been a few weeks, I think, since I did a video. I'm not going live because my Wi-Fi isn't great where I'm staying, but I'm still in beauteous Port Townsend, Washington. It's so gorgeous here. I'm really blessed to be in such a beautiful place. And I thought I would hop on and pick us a card for the energies this week and into next week, because we have a full moon lunar eclipse coming up on Friday, June, what would it be, 5th, I believe, because today is June 3rd. It's Wednesday. And yeah, thanks whenever you're joining, since it'll feel like it's live even though it won't be live, because as I always say, it's always now. So we're going to use Rosy Aronson's The Wisdom Keepers, the 64 Faces of Awakening. Excuse me, stumbling over my words. Wisdom Keepers, these beautiful cards with faces. And these are parallel, you probably know, to the human design and the gene keys. It's actually more closely related to the gene keys, the 64 gene keys, which are, parallel to 64 hexagrams in the I Ching. And there's 64 codons in our DNA. And yeah, they're just so gorgeous. So I'm going to shuffle and see who wants to come forward with a message for us today and whenever you listen to this. Some guidance, some hope, some inspiration. Yeah, won't that be nice? Aw, beautiful. So we got number 13, and I must say, even though these were a sort of channeled people artwork, stories by Rosy Aronson, I must say this one, 13, always reminds me of Rosy herself. I don't think she consciously did that. I know there's only one that I know of that was intentionally made to look like someone, and that's one of the cards is Robin Williams. Robin Williams, yeah, I think that's his name, the comedian. Anyways, I just thought we'd take a moment and breathe with this beautiful, beautiful wisdom keeper. Number 13, which is, it's that goddess energy. 13 is also. So just take a moment and, look at her, see if there's any message to you in the symbolism of the card. And then in a minute, we'll read her story and we'll read her gift. And if you've been following me at all, or even if you haven't, there's always a shadow, there's a gift, and there's a highest exalted version, which is a city. And as we move out of our reactive, responsive energy, we move into the gift energy, and it can transmute into that city energy. So I'm going to start by reading you 13 Discernment is the gift. I'm going to read you a quote by Richard Rudd, who was the person who created or downloaded or received the gene keys. So discernment begins at an individual level as you come to see how deeply your view of others is connected to your feelings. Over time, you reclaim the ability to listen to others and the world from a broader perspective. And I know I'm reading that slower, but I just wanted to let those words sink into us. How our discernment comes, how we see each other is connected to our feelings, and how we listen to others. And I want to say that sometimes how we listen to others is maybe how we're listening to ourselves. And we're not even aware of it sometimes when we do feel those nuances of judgment, but actually it can be the opposite too. We can love somebody and we're listening to ourselves in such a beautiful way as well. So the shadow of discernment is discord. And the city is empathy. And if you're into the gene keys, the programming partner is number 7. So let me read this beautiful story. So it's as if we're listening to this person talking to us, to our hearts. I grew up in a fundamentalist household to parents who were narrow-minded, opinionated, and reactive. If I expressed something that didn't fit with their beliefs or was too optimistic, they beat me down with words or a belt. Wow. And I know this is a really unique time in the world, and this story is already resonating with some of the things going on. They were always in the right, and I was always in the wrong. To survive their anger, bitterness, and pessimism, I turned into water. I became soft, compliant, and forever yielding. I sacrificed my backbone in order to stay safe, and got so good at pretending to be sweet and kind that I forgot I was pretending. As I entered womanhood, I became permissive, carpet, allowing others to walk all over me. And even though I had strong beliefs inside, I never stood up for what I believed in. I repeated this pattern, falling into one abusive relationship after another. All of my decisions were fueled by my desire for safety, even though I was rarely safe and I was often surrounded by discord. I refused to do what I knew had to be done. Until the day I saw my husband touching my daughter inappropriately. That was it. I could no longer deny my feelings or refuse to act. The moment I was forced to listen to the rage, pain, and utter hopelessness that had been living inside of me was the moment my true heroic life began. Now I watched the human drama playing out all around me with empathy, compassion, and optimism. I write myths and children's books that acknowledge the mythical journey that is the human life. All true heroes and heroines go through dark nights of the soul. Transformation and redemption are inevitable when we are willing to wake up, discern, and truly listen. And I'm going to pause and say, these stories, sometimes your story or your experience may not be this exact thing, but maybe there's a vibrational flavor to it that resonates with you. I know a lot of women, even if they weren't abused or anyone they knew wasn't abused, verbally or physically, they can though relate to wanting to be sort of the nice, compliant one, wanting to make other people happy or wanting to be what the other wants us to be. But that can be so exhausting, can't it? So the message here is to really, tap into our true spirit, our true heart, to speak our truth, acknowledge it, and that we can be kind and compassionate with an open heart for everyone. And here's my gift to you. Here's the gift from number 13. I am here to wake you up. Where are you repeating the same mistakes? Where are you refusing to listen and accept the consequences of your heart's truth? You will be surprised at how courageous you are once you begin to be honest with yourself. It is time to start listening to yourself and to others. Learn the art of discernment. Listen beneath the words. Listen for the deeper desires, the emotional agenda, and the underlying tone. Listen beyond your own individual story. And I'm going to pause and say, there's one more paragraph I'm going to read, but sometimes we might hear somebody who sounds critical or judgmental, but then we listen under their words, underneath what they're saying, and we realize, they're just speaking because they have a desire, like they don't feel safe. They want to be safe. They want to feel secure. They don't like having fear, they don't like being fearful, and they're wondering how to deal with that fear. So we can be really compassionate once we listen with that open heart underneath what the words are saying at times. So there's a grand mythic human drama playing out in your life and all around you. We are all part of it, aren't we? We all have our version of the underworld. We all carry the wand of the wizard and the sword of the warrior and the potential for a happy ending. As you begin to see the mythic quality of your own rich human life, your optimism will grow right along with your empathy, compassion, and heroic potential. You are not alone. I am here. And and I want to add to that, I am here, the I am presence, the divine God, goddess, a source, however you think of it, universal energy is inside all of us, all of us. No matter who the person, it's in all of us. So here are some questions for contemplation. Where are you trapped in a self-destructive cycle? And I'll add, if any of these resonate with you, like you might contemplate them or journal them. Where are you starving for empathy from yourself or others? Discern the ways that your experience of the world around you is colored by your mental and emotional states. Yeah, it's when we're feeling so good, it's so easy to see things as beautiful. Even things that aren't traditionally beautiful might look that way. But then, when we're feeling a little down or challenged or angry or whatever, even depressed, then it colors our view of the world. So how can you be more empathetic towards yourself? I'd say towards ourselves, like how can we be more empathetic towards ourselves? But then add in others in our everyday life. Is there a myth you resonate with at a deep level? One that reflects your family or cultural story? If you were to write your own myth, what would it be about? Who would be your protagonist? Write a simple myth in your journal. Let the story impact your life. And I'm remembering, I think we picked Discernment number 13. I think she's come forward recently. So it must mean it's something really active, and that's her guidance is really valuable for us in the collective. And I just invite you to try on, looking deeply into her eyes, to listening to her message, the story, and maybe just asking yourself some of those simple questions, or, just asking yourself, how can I be more kind and compassionate to myself? How can I show myself more empathy? And if you're feeling, challenged, don't forget, you're just like a few breaths away, one breath. You're really not you're not away from it at all. But if you just can take a moment to breathe deeply, and just connect with your own inner heart space, your own divine essence. Oh my gosh, how calming and peaceful that is. So, look at things you can do to bring yourself joy. And if you're feeling fearful or anxious or worried, don't forget, maybe ask yourself, am I scaring my little child inside of me? Am I telling myself, a disempowering negative story? And ask yourself, is it true? Is it really, really true? And if it's not, which I don't think it's ever true, what new story could you tell your inner child and yourself to give yourself to feel empowered, to tap back into your connection to Source? Because it's always there. We're just sort of, maybe we're hiding it from ourselves, or we're, Abraham Hicks, I like to quote them a lot. They say you're pinching off your connection to Source. I mean, it's always there. It's like that hose that has the water pouring out of it, and you don't turn the hose off, but maybe you pinch the hose and it seems like the water doesn't come out. And then when you unpinch it, the water just flows freely and fully. And I think we're always freely and fully connected to Source. So I think that's it for now. If you would like your own card, just comment, and I would be happy to pick you one in my next video. And of course, as always, if you ever want a full reading, or I'm doing those special Sacred Soul readings, just message me, contact me, and we can work that out. It's really simple, and we do it over Skype or FaceTime, or FaceTime, Skype, Zoom, one of those. And I hope there was a gem for you today on Wednesday the 3rd. It's a day of creativity and communication, and maybe some challenging energy as well. So it's guiding us to be just really kind and gentle to ourselves. So I think that's it for now. Lots of love. Ciao. Till next time.